Welcome back to the 20-Sided Podcast. As ever, my name is Brian Flaherty, and I'm your Dungeon Master. I'm once again joined by our trio of heroic passengers. We've got Jenny Gustafson.
Hi.
Kevin Bauer.
Hi.
And Blythe Roberson.
Hello.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't like mine. Can I do mine again?
No, you're stuck with it.
Oh.
One take cleave. All right, we're gonna jump right into it. You guys ready to play some D&D?
Yes.
Yes.
Last time on the R.M.S. Titanfall. After discovering that Cassandra Divorcée had a possible motive for the destruction of the R.M.S. Titanfall and was currently with the unguarded Sir Tiffany Fex, you ran down to the refugee library to confront her and found her standing near the empty ropes that once bound the former Queen's Guard. Cleave failed to properly grasp the implications of Cassandra's involvement and ran to warn her that, as next in line to the Twin Thrones, she may be in danger. As Cassandra attempted to ward off Cleave, Meadhbh went to go speak to Meadhbh, who claimed he thought he had a way to possibly right the ship if he was able to get to the engine room. However, as she spoke with him, Meadhbh couldn't shake the feeling that he was acting strange. Meanwhile, Karis was able to convince Cassandra that she would be safer elsewhere, was able to lead her out of the room, and then pounced with an attack. However, Cassandra survived the attack, fled, screaming for help, still clinging to the box that Cleave and Karis had helped her retrieve. As the survivors came out of the library to see what was happening, Meadhbh noticed a mote of dust fall from the ceiling and pass through Meadhbh's shell, revealing it to be an illusion. Cassandra baited the crowd to attack Karis by bribing them with both gold and promise of a way off the ship. Because of her earlier fiery speech to the crowd, Karis was able to quell the surging panic, and Cassandra made a break for the nearest window, pulling out the papers from inside the box, tossing the box itself outside the window, revealing it to be a magical folding boat. Meadhbh chased the fake Meadhbh as he dashed out of the library and attacked with Karis, dispelling the illusion, revealing Sir Tiffany Fex just as she was able to cast a hold person spell on both Karis and Meadhbh. And as Cassandra attempted her escape, Cleave fired a perfectly placed nat 20 bullet, knocking her out, scattering her papers everywhere. As the surviving passengers pushed past each other to try to get to the unexpected lifeboat, Cleave stopped the crowd with a shot from his pistol and urged the queens out the window towards safety. Annabelle asked Cleave to finish what they started, and Camille told Warwick to stay behind to help destroy Sir Tiffany and the threat of the Kraken. Now you all stand together, badly injured and dangerously low on resources, drifting towards the inescapable maw of the static as the sounds of the titanic beast above you begin to grow louder and more powerful. You guys look around to each other. Cleave, you see both Meadhbh and Karis battered and bruised. You guys see Cleave, gun in his hand, looking beat up all around. Meadhbh, you feel your supplies of magic completely diminished at this point. You hear the of the Kraken and the rending of metal as it kind of like squeezes around the boat above you. And you know that there are a number of powerful foes above you. Madame Alta, Tiffany Fex, and the Kraken itself. You see around you there are a number of survivors that have gathered that were not able to make it onto this relatively small boat. You see Ansel kind of poking their head out. You see Beezus poking his head out of the library, all kind of looking towards you guys, even as Warwick stands beside you guys. Warwick plants a meaty hand kind of on Cleave and Meadhbh, looking over at Karis, and kind of goes, "So, I hope you guys have a plan. You guys have a plan, right?"
Hear me out here. The odds are stacked against us. We're drifting into ruin. A monster from the depths is trying to kill us all, and we're trapped on this capsized boat with a real son of a bitch of a warlock, or witch or wizard or whatever they are. I think we should all take a nap.
I'm sorry. I got a little rung up there when the crowd was going crazy trying to escape. Did you say we need a map?
No, sorry, let me rephrase it like this. I'm gonna take a nap. I would encourage everyone to join me.
He kind of looks over at Karis and goes, when he says a nap, I'm understanding the this isn't a translation thing, nap.
Oh, no, no,
a
no.
sleep. A
And
short sleep.
usually, yeah, in any other circumstance, he would be saying like a double layered sort of situation of a word. But no, he actually means a nap, like sleeping.
Looks over at Maeve and goes, you know with the fancy words. This isn't, he means nap, like sleep.
Yes. Yes. REM. He needs to form new memories.
I think Maeve's been replaced. Some sort of shorting robot.
I'm tired. I also want to take a nap. Can I roll like an investigation check to see if we remember how far we are away from the statique?
I'll say you knew when you first checked, you estimated you were probably like a 12-hour drift. As long as winds didn't change, as long as nothing major changed.
And how long ago was that?
It's been probably like 2-ish hours from that time.
Wow, time flies.
Time does indeed fly. You guys know taking a short rest would take an hour in order to have the effects of it. A long rest would be 8 hours for the 2 rogues, but only 4 hours for Maeve, who is an elf, who only needs 4 hours for a long rest.
Suck an elf, as they say.
Yes, I do know that expression. You are indeed a woman of letters.
Okay, so if we sleep for 8 hours, we only have 2 hours until we drift into that good old Oscar Isaac annihilation zone.
Assuming nothing else changes with the course and the speed that the boat is going.
Maybe we just go to sleep for 8 hours, and when we wake up, someone will have come to rescue us.
Yeah, can that happen? Can we like expedite a lot of action by going to sleep?
You can certainly force the narrative forward by just pushing 8 hours into the future. I will say something just so you guys are aware. You guys are very low on health, very low on resources. However, any benefits you gain from a short or a long rest will also be gained by Sir Tiffany and Madame Alta.
So they just know that we're sleeping, and they're like, well, might as well. We sleep when the baby sleeps.
They don't necessarily know, but they will have the same amount of time to prepare as you do.
Here's one thing I'm kind of worried about. They know we're on this boat. Is there any chance that we're going to go to sleep? They're going to try to hunt us down?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we get killed while we're sleeping?
Are they going to put our fingers in a bowl of warm water so we pee our pants while we're sleeping? And then they take our pants off and they auction them off to perverts? Is that going to happen?
Did you just set us up for like a traumatic sleepover?
I did. This entire thing is just for me to relive some trauma from when I was 9. And I wanted to be the perpetrator this time, not the victim.
Oh, shit. I don't want to give them an advantage, but I think we definitely need a short rest.
Yeah.
So what happens if
Although if anyone's making money off Cleave's piss pants, it's going to be Cleave.
Wait, so can you remind us what we get if we only do a short rest versus a whole long daddy rest?
A short rest, you are able to regain your hit points by rolling your hit die. So each of you has 5 hit dice. The rogues both have D6s. Maeve has a D8. You can roll them up to 5 times and add your Constitution modifier each time to regain that many hit points. Maeve, because you are now level 5, also just heads up for everybody at home, all of our characters have advanced to level 5. Maeve, you now regain your uses of Bardic's Inspiration on every long and short rest. However, no one would get any spell slots back. You would just get hit points.
Can I do a full long rest and they do a half long rest, or they can't? If they wake up halfway through the night, they just don't get any of the advantages of being asleep?
They would be able to get a short rest. So they could still roll hit dice. You could sing your Song of Rest, which gives them like even a better short rest. but any spell slots that Karis would have used would not come back. But I think Karis still has a number of her spell slots left.
Yeah, but that's okay with me.
And I have a ton of hit points left, but I really need spells. I only have my 3rd level spell slots that I just got. Would you guys want to do that, where I take a full long rest and then you guys take just a short rest and I sing my little song to you? Wait, do I have to sleep first to get my song of rest?
No, I believe you can do your song of rest.
Great. Okay, great. Should we do that? Cleave, what do you think?
Yeah, that works for me. What if, so since each of us is just doing a short rest, what if we tried to set it up so that no more than 2 people were sleeping at a time?
For short rest, you don't actually need to be asleep. You can just kind of like, it's just a time of low activity.
Oh, great. Okay.
So you guys can be awake, and you guys can even be like lightly planning. You just can't be like, hefting large items.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm fully asleep.
You would technically be in a meditative trance.
Oh my god, that was me earlier today watching yoga with Adrian.
Oh my god, I love yoga with Adrian.
Me too.
Shout out Yoga with Adrian.
Okay, should I sing my little song of rest to you?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you what my agent told me, completely unsolicited, about flying from LA to New York. You take half an Ambien before you get on the plane. Then the minute you sit down, you take or maybe this was a Xanax. Then the minute you sit down, you take the other half. And then you immediately fall asleep. When you get to New York, you wake up.
It's not bad.
I think the point is that you don't fall asleep while you're walking onto the plane, but by the time you're on the plane and take the other half, you're like primed.
That piece of advice absolutely counts for the Song of Rest. That is
wait,
indeed
that's
the Song of Rest.
Yeah, that's the song of rest. Yeah, that's the song of rest.
You guys are comforted by this knowledge. I gotta think Meadhbh just like reaches into her pocket, passes out a couple like half Xanaxes.
Oh, that's lovely.
Doling them out from a little Pez dispenser.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can regain, just as a shortcut, we'll just say you guys can regain all of your hit points because Meadhbh's Song of Rest maxes out your HP, your hit dice. And Meadhbh, you begin to take a long rest. You can regain all of your hit points, all of your spell slots. You guys like sit down, kind of like start relaxing. Meadhbh starts to go into this meditative trance after she gives you guys this great pharmaceutical advice. Warwick the whole time is like, no, wait, but I've got a sword. We can, chaw it. Oh, all right. And he just kind of like sits down next to Meadhbh with his sword still like laid across on his lap, crisscross applesauce style. The whole crowd is kind of like gathered back in here and is kind of like watching you guys, very confused about what is happening. You hear like murmurs like, is this part of the plan? Are they making a plan? Should we be making a plan? As Meadhbh meditates, taking her long rest, Cleave and Karis, what do you guys do? You can kind of like talk and plan during this time. What do you guys want to do?
Cleave.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make a plan with me about what we're gonna do next?
Oh yeah, sorry, I drifted off there.
You just hear Ansel from the corner goes, That's the Xanax, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not used to taking these without liquor.
Oh, you definitely should not do that, sir.
I know. I've been trying to cut back on using prescription drugs without liquor. Yeah, what do you want?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Oh, okay.
I'm just getting a very fast sinking feeling that...
What was that? Did she say we're sinking? We're sinking?
No,
What?
no.
What?
Well, yeah, though. Like, buddy, are you just realizing what's happening? Like, yeah, we are sinking. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but like, yeah, we are sinking. Like, kind of a lot.
Jesus.
Sorry.
We gotta get out of here.
Okay, well then let the planners plan. Okay. So, Cleave.
Oh,
So
sorry.
about
What?
that. Jeez, just get up for a second, man.
Oh,
Shake
sorry.
it off.
Yeah, no,
Shake
I'm
it
not
off.
used to this.
So we have a highly gifted and magical elf above us, as well as a tricky dick who was disguised as a turtle.
You see Ansel kind of perk up. What? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
You're a freak.
He just winks.
He's gotten so loose.
Ansel's all talk and no cock, though. As soon as it came time for him to step up, this dude ran back to his books.
Wow.
You see he's like holding a book, reading it, kind of like just slowly closes it and puts it back on the shelf. Pulls out another book, and it's just How to Win Friends and Influence People. Just starts looking through it.
I mean, can we catch them by surprise? They're going to know that we're advancing after them. Do you have any special skill you want to lend to, like, us taking them down, or any information you think you have about them or the Kraken that might benefit the group? Hey, okay, Cleave. Cleave. Okay. How much did you get of what I just said?
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you were talking about there was a dick and a turtle.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever Meadhbh's down for, I'm down for. Wait a minute, where is that turtle?
Go ahead and each of you can roll a perception or investigation check if you want.
I got a 17.
I got a
17.
15.
Cleave, as you guys are sitting down, you see off in the distance there is the like pile of ropes that once bound Sir Tiffany Fex. And next to it, you see that large pile of books that Cassandra Divorcée like banished you to. You see it begin to kind of like move a little bit, and one of the books like slides down this big pile.
Hold on a second. Is there anything around me I can throw?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of books everywhere. They're just scattered everywhere. Ansel's still trying to like organize them.
I'm going to pick up a book and just throw it over at that other pile of books.
Go ahead and just roll a d20. Add your dexterity modifier.
16.
You... ah! You hear a voice cry from like inside as it just goes whack against the soft head of a turtle that is buried beneath it.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit him in the head.
He like slowly starts like crawling out of the books, just like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, ow, I hurt everywhere.
Oh my
Meadhbh,
God,
were you hiding in the
Meadhbh.
books?
No, they buried me in the books. No,
Who buried you in the books?
ow.
Oh my God,
Fex.
talk faster.
Fex hit me and they shoved me under the books, and then I tried to get up, and then someone was standing on the books and I couldn't get up.
Oh. You know that Fex was pretending to be you. Don't you find that like a little bit offensive?
I mean, did she do a good job? Like, was I cool?
I'm not trying to be a pot stirrer, but she did kind of like a hack job turtle caricature. And I just want you to know in case you see her. And like, that's not on me. That's not my conversation to have. That's like you. But just like have that knowledge. And I'm just being a friend. That's what
She
friends
just
do.
talked about the shell a lot, made it all about the shell.
I mean, mostly was about the shell. Yeah. I mean, patchy memory here, but again, I'm just being a friend. I'm doing what friends do.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna give her what for, in the form of you guys giving her what for.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you would like.
I am gonna farm that out. I'm gonna farm that out. Who knows? Maybe, probably not, but maybe.
Can we ask like Meadhbh, kind of like, in terms of what's going on with the boat? You have any kind of? Is he just freaking out right now? I mean, I know he just got up from a pile of books, but.
I mean, what do you want to ask him?
Cleave, you want to ask Meadhbh anything?
Oh, yeah, I
'Cause
probably
thought
should.
I did.
So,
well, I thought I did, but then I kind of was like, what do I ask him?
Heard through the grapevine that you're picking up when I'm laying down. I don't blame you. I'm known to have my charms while on a case. I don't normally fraternize with a person of interest, but maybe after all this is over, you and I can I don't know, get a coffee.
Wait. Wait.
Meadhbh kind of like
Wait, Cleave.
looks behind him. And wait, are you talking to me?
I look at Karis and I go, you said the thing about a dick and a turtle.
I know. No.
Oh my god. Oh.
No.
I mean, I'm flattered.
I'm so sorry.
I'm flattered,
misunderstood.
but I don't really know. I mean, it feels, we've been bonded by an intense experience. And I think that's not a great place to start a relationship. Maybe coffee as friends, maybe.
Sure,
After this blows
sure.
over.
I'm just gonna jump in like super duper fast. Meadhbh, does any of this surprise you that this is happening? I mean, I know you knew that something was up, but do you have any idea what the best method to right this boat would be? Or if that's at all possible right now?
I don't think there's anything we can do to right the boat. I mean, it would take a massive force to spin this thing around, and even then, there's a breach in the bottom, likely somewhere, so I don't know how stable it would be. Could we right it? Maybe, but I think there's nothing we can do from in here. Like, I can't think of any like mechanical ways to do that. I mean, it would have to be a force of nature, an act of God, something massive
Force of
to
nature,
spin this
act
boat
of
around.
God. Force of nature, act of God. Sorry, I'm writing this down for my memoir title. Act of God. Great. You do know, I don't know if you do, I shouldn't say it loud, but we are headed towards the static. So I don't know if just stopping the boat where it is would
That
be
is news to me.
better.
There's an anchor on the boat, but now that it's flipped upside down, we could definitely undo the anchor and it would fall. Maybe that would even help to spin the boat a bit. I'm not sure. I can only really do that from the engine room.
Well, that's so weird because that's like where we want to go, right?
Question. Can I just quick question. Engine room. Also, isn't that where the bad people and the monster of ancient evil are?
Damn straight, turtle.
Yes, that is. But you know what? We kind of had your back earlier on our journey. We were kind of hoping you'd help us out a little bit. We'd keep you as safe as we possibly can.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'll say with advantage.
Okay. Oh, my persuasion is +9, and I rolled a 19.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And I don't know if this will even benefit us at all.
You kind of say this to Meadhbh, and there is a fire in Karis's eyes as she just kind of you just lock eyes with him in this calm, warm, almost tender moment as you look to him, and you see his gaze kind of softens from fear to a moment of active resolve, of him seeming you almost see him in his mind make a decision, which is something you hadn't seen up until this point. You've seen him run away from things. You see something click in his mind for a moment, and he goes, yeah, I think I can do that. I think I can, if you can get me there, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said it a lot. Yeah, you can do it.
I'm sorry, I got really excited. I can do
I'm
that.
So I feel like a proud mama.
I have all of the tools for that. I could do that.
Okay, well, we are enlisting your help. So.
What would you like me to do?
Oh my god.
Anything?
Yes.
Just smash things?
If you want to smash things, we're not going to tell you no.
Well,
I'm
but
quite good at smashing things.
how do we want to enter this potential battle? Or should we go in there guns blazing suicide mission style, or should we be taking our time? And I'm just worried we're gonna get up to the point and we're just gonna have no idea what to do.
Damn, yeah. I wish you'd woken me up earlier so we could have made a plan.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see what we got here. We know that there's villains, and they're in the engine room. Meadhbh, how much in the engine room at any given time could explode?
I mean, we do keep fuel just below the engine room, or rather, the floor just above, what is now just below the engine room. I think you guys saw it.
Yeah.
We keep some fuel, and that's there. I mean, the engine isn't actually fueled by the fuel. It's a elemental engine, so it's fueled by an elemental. I mean, theoretically, I guess you could break the bindings on the engine and free the elemental. It wouldn't necessarily be an explosion, but it would be a free elemental entity of fire. That might be something.
Big chaos, and that can come in very handy.
Wait, an elemental... What?
An element.
Wait, what
It's a fire elemental. It's like an entity of pure fire.
So
It
fire?
powers the engine.
But it's like the idea of fire?
It's like a semi-sentient entity.
Oh my god! Is this gonna be like Kraken versus Fireman? I don't know! Guys, stop all looking at me and undressing me with your eyes. I'm just... Okay, well, I'm glad we have that in our back pocket. That's probably the most exciting thing I've heard all day.
I love that idea as a means of combating the Kraken. I'm thinking as for Madame Alta and Tiffany Fex, we're at a disadvantage because they're in that room and they know the lay of the land, but we don't. But if we could find out where they are when we're on the floor below them, maybe we could use the fuel tanks to blow a hole in the floor and drop them onto the floor below so that we could get the drop on them.
And actually, I can help you a little bit on that front. I can at least explain to you the rough layout. I mean, it's going to be a bit wonky because it's inverted, but I can tell you at least where they might be.
Sure. And just one tiny note. Do we actually know exactly what their intentions are? Madame Alta and Tiffany Fex? Because I understand the whole, like, power over the twin ports element, but what exactly is their aim right now?
You don't necessarily know the full extent of their aim.
Okay.
You know that they are cultists of Fathom. You know from like your history checks in the past that Fathom was not an entity to like consort with mortals. It wasn't an entity like, unlike the gods, Fathom and the Titans didn't grant magical powers to mortals in the same way that like the 9 like major deities do. You're not entirely sure what they want. They seem to want to resurrect this champion of Fathom, but you do know there is one person who knows a little bit more than you who might have the answers, and she is currently bleeding badly from a gunshot wound in the other room.
Oh, F my A. Seriously? Well, she ain't dead yet.
She was stabilized.
Okay,
Warwick
can we-
went in and like essentially like cauterized her wound.
Can we squeak in a question?
Yeah. And I'll say at this point, Meadhbh, you finish your long rest. You come out of your trance, kind of like blinking. As you guys make your way into the other room, some people have actually like grabbed Cassandra and like pulled her in towards the library. She's just kind of like pushed up against a wall in the corner, left entirely on her own now. People basically brought her over and they just kind of like left her.
Cleave or Meadhbh, would you like to ask Cassandra a question about what she might know about Madame Alta and Tiffany Fex's like intentions?
Let's just go ask her what she knows about Madame Alta and Tiffany Fex's intentions.
You guys head over to her. She is Cleave. You see a like large, now like cauterized bullet wound in her abdomen. She's kind of like bent over. A lot of the air of superiority and regality is gone as she kind of like looks around. You see her kind of like every now and then she'll yell at someone like, "Help me! Give me that!" And the crowd is just fully ignoring her, clearly like upset that they were not granted passage on this like boat that she had been hiding, no longer trusting her. All the money in the world isn't buying her what she wants right now. And she is just sitting crumpled. She looks at you guys and come over like, What? You haven't ruined enough today?
Okay, late. All right, listen, Cassandra. It's too early in the morning for me to have that kind of sass. But listen, we're wondering what you know about Madame Alta and Sir Tiffany Fex's plan and intentions. What's going on here?
I don't know anything about that.
Come on.
I don't know anything about. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, we know. Here's what we know. Everything. We know that you're behind this whole rigmarole because you are in line to inherit both kingdoms. And this will go a lot easier on you if you help us save the lives of all these people. Because otherwise, when the search and rescue team finds this boat, which they will, well, we don't believe in incarceration, but I'm sure what's coming to you will be very not fun. All your assets will be stripped from you. I don't know. Lady, just tell us. Come on. And then I roll a persuasion check.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'll say with advantage.
Oh my God,
you
thank
made
you.
some good points.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, a natural 20.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. You look at Cassandra and you see the gears in her hand begin to turn. You look down and at her feet is a number of those papers that she had been protecting. And you may have recognized them from like many of your reporting things. You've seen official papers like this. These are all a large collection of patents of nobility. These are like her deeds and proofs of her titles, things that would have been, very helpful should she have arrived at the Twilight Assembly with the Queens dead. It would have been a very quick bim bam boom to show that she is next in line. You see her take stock of the situation, realize where she is, realize that like the Queens have escaped on her boat, are likely, as far as she knows, safe for the moment, and that she has lost the escape plan she had been planning on. She bows her head down and goes, I don't know a lot, darling, but they approached me and said, maybe you don't know this, but you're like kind of close to in line for the throne. And I said, I actually didn't know that. And they said, well, we can make sure you get there. All you have to do is grant us some space on your boat. This was a couple of years ago. And then I said yes. A couple days later, the kings went crazy. The war broke out. And we let them into the boat. They did some, minor cosmetic reconstructions, and they emptied some of the ballast tanks. And they filled the ballast tanks with some things. And all I had to do was not ask questions. And then they said the kings and then the princesses would no longer be around, and I just didn't need to ask any questions, so I didn't. It seemed like a perfectly legitimate transaction.
What did they fill the ballast tanks with?
I haven't the foggiest. They were all covered in tarps and things. It was a lot of very large things.
I feel like we gotta go get into those ballast tanks. Myrtleby. Yo, hey, Myrtleby. Myrtleby, come over here.
Hey,
Yes, okay.
Myrtleby.
I hear you.
Hey.
Yep. Okay.
Hey, Cleave, can you get him
All right.
over here?
No, I'm coming.
And I just pull out my gun and I shoot
literally
it.
running. Literally running.
Turtle.
The whole crowd goes, what?
Hey, Myrtleby.
Myrtleby runs over. Beezus runs over. You see Ansel, at the sound of a gunshot, jumps out and, momentarily, goes to jump in front of Meadhbh, realize what's happening, then just kind of, backs off, goes, oh, sorry, sir.
Ansel, I have to say, while I was sleeping, a phrase came to me about how you're acting, and it's all talk and no cock.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and roll a check for Ansel.
A horny check? His modifier is plus 15.
He looks at you and goes, I'm not very experienced.
Oh.
I read a lot, so I flirt a lot, and I'm really good at the talking and the reading and the writing. It's the
Oh my god.
the others. It's not
Cute.
the easiest. I don't really know. I don't know the signal and the
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Okay, remember when I wanted to know where we were in the ocean and I pulled within my arm's reach a book called Finding Your Way Without Compass or Map?
Yes.
Here's one book about sex that I have with it.
What was the title on that one?
This one is Action. This one is Carnal Knowledge. Well,
So you got what is that? 4 to 5 books.
yeah. About sex within my reach. Sorry, I'm like, all my books are falling. All my sex books are falling down. So I'm like, Ansel, I get it. I'm right there with you, guy. You know? Like, you come find me when all this is said and done, and we can put some of these theories into practice.
Whatever check you want to make right now, you can go ahead and roll with advantage.
I mean, I'm not even trying to get anything from him right now. Let's roll a nature check, baby.
I love it.
Okay. A 19.
You see Ansel flush, you see his pupils dilate, you see him begin to sweat. All of the classic signs of just passionate attraction. He kind of looks at you and goes, okay, we'll do that. Okay. He just slowly
I ruined
backs
Ansel.
up.
Wait, Ansel, don't leave. Ansel, we need you to come with us when we fight. We need every help we can get. Will you come help us?
Yeah, I don't know how much help I'll be, but I'll do it for you.
What about Cleave? Will you do it for Cleave?
He looks over at Cleave and goes, again, Maeve, I'll do it for you.
Oh,
Hey, come on, bookworm.
shit.
It's okay. Hey, Ansel, look, I know the effect that I have on people sometimes when I'm working a case. You know, I can't fault you for picking up what I'm laying down.
I'm gonna list the main side effect for Cleave of Xanax is charm.
Okay, wait, so Meadhbh, Espinal, is there a way that we can get into the ballast tanks from inside the ship? Because we think there might be something crazy in there.
Yeah, we can definitely get into the ballast tanks from the engine room.
Okay.
Are they connected to the engine room?
Yeah, they're kind of along the bottom of the ship. Usually you'd fill them with water or sand or something, and they pull the boat down. They essentially make it heavier so that it's easier to control. So, I mean, this makes sense. If they emptied one of the ballast tanks and filled it with other things, that makes sense why it was rising higher in the water.
Gotcha. Oh, nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cleave just like really quietly pulls out his notebook and he looks into it and he pulls out a pencil and just crosses off, why is the boat lighter? And just flips it back down and puts it in his pocket.
You see Captain Beezus peeks out from behind. Ansel goes, and how can I help?
What
Captain
do you
Beezus
do?
here.
Buddy.
I'm the face, baby.
Hey.
How do you feel about throwing a couple punches? Do you got any knives on you?
You mean these knives? And he pulls out like 12 just steak knives that he has grabbed.
Whoa.
I didn't know what kind of shit was going down. I grabbed anything I could.
Easy, Mickey
Oh my
Rooney.
God, I call bullshit. This dude was heading right to the kitchen.
You can hang back. Can I just say I think we should be going to maybe do some like recon right now and scope out the area and get as close as we can to the engine room. And what's the one below? The fuel, that's the one below it now.
Yeah.
So
the engine room
going
fuel.
up, you would go up, you would hit a floor that is like the crew lodging and like storage. That's where you found the
So
fuel
that's
tanks
all
before.
where I entered in, right?
You actually
At the
entered
beginning
in,
of the story.
Yes, you would have entered in there.
Okay.
And then the floor, what is now above that, is the final floor of the engine room.
Gotcha. Okay.
You guys begin to make your way out of this room to go do this recon. And as you do, the crowd kind of like gathers behind you as you go. You hear like the shuffle of a bunch of feet, and they kind of look at you and go. One person speaks up. So what do we do?
Yes. Finally, these people want to get involved. Oh my God. Guys, what should we have them do? How many of them
I
have
think-
knives? Sorry, you go, Cleave.
I was going to ask the same thing.
A bunch of them pull out like various like planks of wood. People found like crowbars. One of them has just a fire extinguisher. All of these people are holding these like makeshift improv weapons, and they're holding them in a way that like tells you they've never had to swing a baseball bat in their life or something. But they've grabbed various items and kind of like are looking to you like, what do we do with these?
We probably need a group of people to protect Divorcee just to make sure that, you know, she can still answer for her crimes when we get back to a port.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. I'll take some protection, please.
Feel free to knock her out, though.
You see one woman goes, be my pleasure, darling. Walks over to Tiffany Fex, smacks her right in the face, knocks her out cold.
Who is that woman?
You turn and you see it is the second class bartender you guys saw in your first fight. You see it like she's just looking ragged as hell. She goes, that woman stiffed me out of a week's wages.
Should we have everyone else? Well, we don't want them to be too loud.
Yeah.
Should we be like, if we're not back here in half an hour, everyone come and knock out the people, or should we? How do we utilize them?
I say step forward our 5 strongest fighters. If you identify as scrappy, resourceful, thick on top, thick in the legs, strong. If any of those, step forward, and we're gonna talk to you about something in a second.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Good thing my persuasion is like wicked high right now.
This is Karis' Braveheart moment.
Oh, 15, 9, 24.
You look forward.
So
the
does it
entire
work?
group steps forward.
The whole group.
Oh, wait.
The whole group
that's not
takes a
good.
step forward.
Okay, I put too many qualifiers in my question.
You see someone back. You didn't really narrow it down at all. You kind of described something.
True.
Everyone's special. Everyone has a thing about them. You described a lot of things.
Hold
you see
on,
from a
that
guy
gave
with
me an
just the
idea.
thickest ass you've ever seen. Man's got a
I will
shelf.
say, everyone stepping forward at the same time gave me an idea. Meadhbh, if we had this whole group go near the top of the boat and run back and forth from one side of the boat to the other,
Good question.
is there any chance we could flip this boat back over? And before you answer, just take a look at that guy's shelf.
You see, Meadhbh looks at you and then like is prepared to say no, turns to the guy's ass and goes, his ass is so large it makes Meadhbh reconsider physics. And then Meadhbh goes, no, I don't think that's very likely. We need a lot more weight. I'm talking tons of weight.
But aren't we also maybe not trying to flip the boat over because there's like a Kraken been sucking holes into the boat, you know, with this giant cup things? Been like, there's a hole.
There's a good point.
Okay, guys, you all step forward. That was so cool of you. But maybe we'll keep like a couple of you guys along the stairwells and we'll establish a call we can do and that call will indicate attack mode.
Excuse me, Miss? Miss, I have a question. Miss?
Yeah.
What kind of call would that be? I'm just curious, what kind of signal?
TBD. I can put some out there.
Okay, guys, the signal is TBD. When you hear TBD, that means attack, okay?
You guys are so smart. You're my
She gives you like
babies.
a big thumbs up and goes, thanks, miss.
So
Well, I think
TBD
that
means
seals
attack.
it. Let's head up there and do a little recon. Is there? Meadhbh said that he could try to help us out to figure out where Madame Alta and Tiffany Fex might be. Does anybody have a spell or something that would let us kind of like see through the floor or detect their footsteps or something so we can get right under them?
Well, I remember last time we sent in the bees, but I don't know if that would work again. Although, I don't know if Madame Alta was there and Tiffany Fex wasn't there when I did the bees.
Madame Alta could have been with us this whole time because Tiffany Fex pulled some wild ass tricks turning into Meadhbh. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's one of you guys.
Wait, whatever happened to that one dude that from before when we went?
That's tied up in the sexy knots.
Yeah.
He's still tied up over here. He's just on the ground in the sexiest of S&M knots.
Okay. Hi.
Just kind of listen. Yes. Hello.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
I was really enjoying not being noticed for a while. That was doing well for me.
Okay, well, we've remembered you, as we periodically remember things that we have that are of great
Damn it.
value that we forgot for hours and hours on end.
Sure, I understand that. What can I do for you?
Can you, let us know what the heck's going on, what the plan is, what we can do to get over on all of these fathom heads?
You know, I know we're enemies at this point, but that feels like an offensive term. I'm just going to put it out there. I know
Fathom head?
it feels bad.
parrot
It feels
heads.
bad.
It's like a parrot
I
head.
don't know. I don't love that either. Gotta be. You know, this might just be me projecting. I'm having a bad day. You might have noticed, but you know, Specs didn't tell us a lot. We were just supposed to come down here. Like we loaded the bones in. We had to guard the bones. We had to make sure the band played the song.
The Bone.
What are the bones?
Bone Thugs. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bone Thugs and Harmony is on the bone?
Oh. Oh my god.
He goes, yeah, she had us, load in the bones. We were supposed to make sure the band played the song to, cast the spell. And then we were just supposed to protect the engine room. But y'all kind of fucked that up early because, Meadhbh got on and we were like, oh, he's going to blow it. So, we had to go kill him. But then you guys got in the way and that really fucked us up. So, it's not going according to plan. The boat wasn't supposed to explode or anything.
What bones?
Did you not know about the bones?
No, we know because we were in the ballast room when we saw the bones, but we were just wondering if you have any more information about the bones.
You got to see all the bones of the Kraken? That's I didn't get to see all the bones. I only got to see a bone or two. And that was cool.
Yeah.
We saw the whole set of Kraken bones. And
You saw the whole, was it majestic in kind of an evil and terrifying way?
It was almost just majestic in a majestic way even,
Cool. I like
and
that.
it's so
That's cool.
just to it's so interesting as and now we know that the Kraken has to have all the bones, and then when it sucks up all the bones it becomes the full Kraken again, right?
Yeah, totally. We it's because as it gets fed by the elemental, right, that's powering the boat, then it can help it reconstitute. But we needed the spell and all the gemstones around the boat to focus the energy. And then as you get closer to the static, it's because there's that weird wild magic coming off the static,
Totally. And people make such fun of gemstones, but they're so important.
And he kind of shakes, and he a crystal falls out of his shirt, and he goes, "Totally, man."
Can I?
Amethyst,
I'm gonna take this.
Yeah.
Crystal.
For sure.
Oh no, that's my mom's. That's my mom's.
I know.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna take it anyways.
Oh,
Well,
this has great sentimental value.
Okay. Well, can you tell me where? Because I feel like I am an appreciator of crystals as well. As she pulls 10 or 12 crystals from within my reach. Where around the boat? I just want to look at them. Can you tell me where they are?
He kind of nods his head. You look over and you see above where the door would be into this area, there is there's a number of ornamental carvings, and some of them have small gemstones.
Oh, okay.
And you remember seeing these along the hallways. You saw them in the ornamental chandelier in the Phoebe Promenade. They're kind of all around the boat, and you would kind of recognize this as some kind of almost power vacuum or power center. It helps now that you see this, you kind of connects in your head that this is helping to channel the magic that was the spell that was essentially cast by the playing of the song by the band.
Right. Okay, so you guys, here's what I think we should do. I'm an elf. I guess I don't fully understand how this is working, but I feel like if we can get as many of these crystals and as many as the bones as far away from this ship and the Kraken as possible, that might lessen the effects of what the heck's going on.
So the bones are just sitting there in a pile?
In the ballast tank?
Or did they all like come together?
You guys
and
have seen
become
some of
Kraken?
the tentacles of the Kraken, and you saw that they were like still reconstituting, like they were skeletal in a manner and were like reforming. You guys think that these bones were reassembled, and the Kraken is still like reconstituting. It is in the process of being reformed. So you may still be able to remove some of the bones that would like be part of it, or they might have already all been like put in a skeleton essentially.
Well,
Yeah.
should we try to? Can I run an Arcana check to see if I think throwing the gemstones into the ocean would do any help at all?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 19.
Knowing what you know that the gems were definitely used to like concentrate the magic of the, like, especially as a bard, the power of like music and words, and they were used to like amplify the power of the song that was played. But you look around, you still see them like lightly, faintly glowing and kind of pulsing in a very noticeable, like regular way. You're not sure if it would break the spell necessarily, but it may have some effect if you were able to remove some of these and like disturb this fairly fragile like ecosystem of the arcane that has been created.
Okay. Hey, Meadhbh, do you know where all these gemstones are, or is that like a cosmetic thing that happens after you design the boat?
This was not my design, okay? They added these all over, and like, I get it. I was going for like subtle classy, and they wanted to go ostentatious, but like, I don't love it. But I did make, and he like pulls out a old folded up sheet of paper, and he's like, I did make notes of all the changes, so there's like, I know a bunch of them.
Okay. Since Meadhbh, oh fuck, but we need him to help us deal with the elemental. Okay, if you see any along the way as we go up to the engine room, can you point them out? And then every time we pass by a window, I might tell a dolphin to go take it far away, if we can pry them out of the, whatever they're on.
Excuse me, miss? Excuse me, miss?
Who's that?
One of the guys in the, like the really eager guy in the crowd. Miss?
Yes, you.
I heard something. Yeah, I heard we were collecting gemstones. Is that what we're doing now?
Oh, yeah. Do some of you guys want to go get the gemstones and just throw them out into the ocean?
Yeah, totally. Just all the gemstones on the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go gemstone hunting. So everybody, out the door. First 1 to 10 gemstones wins. All right, let's go, guys.
Wait, and make sure, especially focus on the ones that are kind of glowing. Those are the ones that we need to get rid of.
Yes.
All right, shiny ones first, guys. Shiny ones first. Let's go.
And leave the throwing to the guys that are real thick on top.
You see the guy with the just fat ass butt goes, "Aw."
Sorry, pal, your talents are needed elsewhere.
He looks at you, just gives a little wink.
All right, shall we?
Listen, hey, real quick, I just want to clear this up. Look, I know that I know the effect I can have on people when I'm working a case. I don't blame you for picking up when I'm laying down, but I don't normally fraternize with people on cases, so maybe after this we could
Do what?
grab a coffee or something.
He looks at you, gives you like a little like coy smile, and then you look over and see Meadhbh just kind of looking at you going, what the fuck was that?
You had your chance, Turtle. All right, let's go.
All right, let's do this, baby.
Can I ask just a quick question?
Yeah.
When Tiffany Fex was posing as Meadhbh, did she say like that she was gonna go blow up the engine room to right the ship? Is that what she said?
Yeah, she, as Meadhbh was like talking about trying to get to the engine room, if you want to roll an insight check, I'll say you can roll an insight check to see.
I'm wondering a lot about the elemental and whether they're trying, like, by the boat being the way it is right now, it's feeding the Kraken more. If releasing the elemental releases it into the Kraken, or if it releases it as its own thing and deprives the Kraken of that energy. So that's just me thinking out loud.
Yeah, it does seem like they wanted to flip the boat. And maybe they wanted to flip the boat so that the elemental wouldn't immediately be consumed by water.
I think you guys can roll an insight check if you want.
Yeah, let's.
Shit.
Well. 15.
What is it?
15, 15.
What is it? She looks under the table. 15 with insight. 17.
There might be a reason that she thinks she can flip the boat. After talking to Meadhbh, you guys know there's likely not... Like, if Meadhbh doesn't think there's a mechanical way to flip the boat, there likely isn't. You think this was just a ploy by Tiffany Fex to get you to, like, take her up to the engine room. I think she was just trying to, like, use her disguise to get up to the engine room.
Okay. And she needs to be in the engine room because we're going to have to ask her when we see her.
You guys make your way up to the crew quarters hall where you had found the fuel before, where you had battled the other cultists. You still see their bodies strewn about this corridor. Warwick, Meadhbh, Ansel, Captain Beezus has like gone off with the passengers and is like helping them gather up these gemstones. You guys make it up to that floor and you still hear the of the Kraken above you. You hear a few every now and then what seems to be either like weird creaks in the boat or maybe even footsteps above you. On this floor you still see all of the bodies laid out. You still see the drums of fuel in the one room.
Are there any bees that we lost that are on the ground from that battle?
No, bees never got hit.
Fuck yeah.
Just wondering what kind of war zone this would be. And it was a completely fine one of those war zones.
After a few minutes, as you guys are kind of in here and like begin to take stock of the things, the passengers come up and join you guys, and they holding up a bunch of like fucking gemstones. They had to go, look at all these. We got so many of these.
Throw them out. Throw them out in the ocean.
Okay, chucks them out there. You hear as like a million little stones pop in. You know, like they look at you. They tell like, oh, we got all the ones we could get to. There's obviously like probably some on the flooded floors. We couldn't get those, but like everything else we got.
Okay, now be very quiet.
Oh, sorry. Everybody, quiet. And remember, TBD is the attack. TBD. Just double thumbs up again.
All right. Meadhbh, whereabouts do you think they might be standing right now?
He begins to like explain to you the layout of the room. The room is essentially it is in like, you know, the bottom of the ship, so it's kind of like a curved hull. There are 4 large ballast tanks, 2 on each side, that normally would be filled with like water or maybe sand, some kind of like heavy displaceable material. When the boat is right side up, there would be like a center galleyway that's likely inverted. So he kind of explains there is what would be now like a T-shaped area that is easy to stand on. And as he kind of like thinks about the room, there would also likely be a bit of a platform that they could probably get to. So he kind of explains it to you. Essentially, he explains that there would essentially be a long corridor because of the way like various engines and large machinery would be. There would be a long straight corridor. There would be like 4 areas, one on each corner, that are kind of like blocked, and then there'd be like a cross section in the center. And somewhere above that kind of cross section area would be a platform they might be able to get to. They could be kind of standing on the machinery, the platform. Otherwise, there's 2 entrances into the room, front and back. And that's kind of it.
So we're probably not able to, like, put a charge beneath them and have them drop, because they're probably on a platform, like a suspended platform in that room, right?
Oh, what is the floor made out of?
It's metal. Steel, mostly. Iron.
Oh, fuck. Well, if they're standing on a floor that I can see, can I heat it through, like, the ceiling or whatever?
You would be looking up at the floor. So the floor is linoleum. But if you could, like, crack through part of the floor to get to, like, the ceiling below, you could potentially do that.
So confusing. If you could
I
crack
know, right?
through the floor to get to the ceiling below.
above.
Yeah.
This feels like one of those things where it's like because the doctor was the boy's mother.
Yes.
You
The fisherman
sexist.
was the grandfather. I remember that one. Sorry.
It's like that line in the time travel movie Primer. God, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten since later this afternoon.
Ooh.
Man, that movie's a real mind fuck. This feels like a primer situation.
Hmm.
Um,
Does it help us if they all of a sudden their feet get burned? I mean, they're probably wearing shoes, so I don't know.
and what are they doing? Are they like waiting for a moment? Or like I don't know if it does us any good speculating what they're doing, but I'm trying to imagine like where their heads are at.
Yeah.
Yeah, what have they been doing for 4 hours?
Yeah, Jesus.
Seriously. Like just sneaking around, getting bones together from different, setting up their crystals.
Should I try to heat the boat so the Kraken gets burned? I don't know what we want to do about the Kraken
Yeah.
right now.
Is there any way that I can get close to the door and eavesdrop? Or
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You
some
could
sort of
get
sleight of
close
hand to
to-
crack the door? I don't know.
You could get close to one of the doors and try to eavesdrop. You could, if you had any kind of way to send in a scout, if you use the bees, if you wanted to, there is potentially because a Kraken must have like burst through the hull, there's likely a, hole in the boat above you. You could go through the outside.
Wait, the Kraken came from inside the boat? I'm just putting that together now. Oh, no.
That's so gross.
Oh,
Imagine
that's
it just
horrible.
like
Oh.
Because it burst through the ballast tank.
So the bones are gone. It was the bones.
it's the
I thought it was like this gooey,
The Kraken.
amorphous, like gelatin that came into the boat and has been like sucking the bones out through the boat. But no, it was
The
inside the
Kraken
boat the whole
was
time.
the bones.
Kraken was the bones.
I think they definitely wouldn't expect us to come from outside the boat.
Do we still have those breathe underwater packs on us?
Yeah, you've got, I think you had 4, you only used 1.
One.
So yeah, you still have 3.
Do you guys want to come from? But then we have to open the door into the.
Currently, you guys are above the waterline. So like
Oh,
you'd have to
right.
climb out the metal.
Oh, right.
And then you'd be in the open air.
Okay. Should one of us stick our head out the window and see how bad of a climb that looks like?
I can do it.
Cleave, you pop your head out the window. It is a like slick metal surface. It's definitely possible to climb. Like it's no longer, because it's still like a little moist from just kind of like sea air. As it stands is a difficult climb, not impossible. If you were able to make either some handholds or if you were able to fashion a rope in some way, it would definitely become easier.
Well, I
but it
have
is possible.
clothes. I have a ton of clothes. Wait, do I only have the clothes I'm wearing, or do I have more clothes?
You would have some more clothes, I'd say, in your pack. Like you'd have like another change.
I don't need these clothes. We can use them to make a rope if we'd like to.
Oh, did I hear we're collecting clothes for rope? Oh, guys, anybody, any extra clothes? Any extra clothes? We need extra clothes.
Oh my gosh, they're so
Okay.
helpful now. All of a sudden, where was this the entire time?
You see, it's just like this one guy that's really rallying people together. He's just like, okay, I see that. I know it's a very nice jacket, but we need it for strips. Okay, we're gonna use it for parts. Come here, come here.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's a Dior. Let's
Remember
go.
this guy. He's
my God.
so good in a crisis.
Yeah.
I love it.
They gather up like a bunch of this. This is the most expensive rope ever created by man. It's just
Nice.
hundreds and thousands of gold pieces worth of cloth formed into like a long, probably like 40, 50 feet of rope.
Okay, great.
Met Gala outfit, am I right?
Oh my god, this year's Met Gala theme is rope.
That'd be a good
And guess who we're inviting? Army Hammer.
No.
It's a callback. It's a callback. Actually, I don't think I put that in the episode. It's not a callback.
Oh shit.
Who's the best at throwing accurately to get this?
We give one of those thick top
I throw
boys.
pretty great, don't I? Because don't I have a rope of climbing? Why did I make you guys do that?
You do have a rope of climbing.
Oh my! Don't tell the rich people, but use your rope of climbing.
So
I'll say you could also tie like the mundane Versace rope to the rope of climbing, and it can kind of like pull it up and make it a longer rope.
well, let's do that, but discreetly, because these guys don't need all that.
You go into the room and like they're all like high-fiving each other, like, "Great job, guys! We really saved the day." You pull out your magical rope of climbing, tie it to their rope, and it begins to fly up the side of the boat and fashions itself, really just like holding itself in place. It's not even grabbing onto anything. It's just like able to be climbed.
That's cool.
Isn't that amazing? I got that for you guys.
Thank you, Karis.
Thank you, Karis.
Just saying.
You guys have a rope up to the top, the like apex of the ship. Do you bop out and start climbing?
Should we, for our plan of attack, you're coming into the room. Do you guys want me to come into the room through one of the normal doors to distract them, and then you get the drop on them from outside?
That'd be cool.
I'm down if you're down.
I'm down.
Wait, what am I doing? I go wherever I need to be going. Where do I go? I'll go with you, Meadhbh.
Okay, great. So we'll climb the rope, and then he'll distract. So we'll climb up there right now, Cleave, and we'll wait until we hear you distract them, and then we'll pop in right afterwards. How about that?
That sounds perfect.
And
what
we'll
is he gonna do?
Ansel and Meadhbh.
Awesome.
You're taking Ansel and Meadhbh. Sorry, who's going outside?
Everyone. Well, now I'm like,
I feel like we should keep someone like someone's got to stay inside in case something goes wrong.
well, we've got all the people who are super eager.
True. TBD.
If you need a strong man on the inside, I don't love heights, so I'd be okay staying inside.
Okay, so why don't we have, because now I'm realizing someone could fall into the ocean and be very traumatized. So as long as Cleave is going in the normal door, how about Karis, you and me climb out and get in through the ballast room. Cleave, you enter through the normal door. Ansel and Meadhbh, you wait until we've surprised them from behind to enter, and everyone else kind of stay out here and wait for the TBD alert. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, you see, Meadhbh has like someone's handed him like a broken piece of a table, or like a leg of a table. He's kind of like holding it, doesn't really know what to do with it. Ansel has from somewhere pulled out like an antique sword that would have like been displayed on something, and he's like pulled it out of the sheath and goes, I don't know how to. I've read about all the techniques, but I've never actually used it. But I've read about all the proper, battle forms, and you see him like spin the thing around with an elegant grace that surprises even him. He goes, "Oh, reading is power."
Oh, not hot anymore.
Is it
I'm sorry, did I ruin it?
I just watched
For me, but you don't want me.
I just watched the Bush era film Fool's Gold, directed by Andy Tennant, starring Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson, right?
And there's
Shout out Kate Hudson.
Shout out Kate Hudson. There's a whole antique sword bit where Matthew McConaughey finds the sword from a shipwreck and then later tries to use it, but it's not sharp because it has not been sharpened since 1715. Can we check if Ansel's sword is sharpened?
Yeah, you look at Ansel's sword. It's not razor sharp, but it'll get the job done. It'll definitely stab.
Okay, great. All we need is it to stab. Okay, Meadhbh, before we climb outside the boat, can you remind us one more time how we get to the elemental from here?
Yeah, he kind of like draws you a quick map. The elemental engine is essentially in the like dead center of the room. So like at the crossroads of like essentially the hallways in this room, where it is perpendicular, there is a large. He describes like a large like glass tube essentially that houses the elemental, and like a bunch of wires and like feeding things coming out from that feed the like mechanical moving parts of the engine.
And I'm sorry, I think you already said this, but I was spaced out. Is the elemental sentient? Are we going to have to persuade it to do what we want it to do?
Yeah, does it have any master also? Or is it just...
The elemental, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the form of fire itself. It is sentient, like it can think a bit. I'm not entirely sure how elementals work, but it powers the ship really well.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. All right, you guys, should we put our hands in and on the count of 3 break?
Let's do it.
You guys put your 3 hands in, and then all of a sudden, like, 3 more hands come in as, like, Meadhbh, Ansel, and Warwick come in, and then you hear a rush from the crowd, and, like, 40 more hands try to come in. They're like, oh, excuse me. No, I should definitely be in this one.
Okay, whispers, everyone, so they don't hear us.
Oh, right, so everybody, whispers, stage voices.
Okay. On the count of 3, everyone yell,
Oh, okay, we're gonna yell now. We're gonna yell.
No, whisper.
Oh, sorry. Whisper team. Okay, everybody got that? Whisper team.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Team. No, shh.
All right, let's go.
The crowd begins to move out, heading towards like the doors, preparing for an attack. Warwick takes one of the areas with Meadhbh and Ansel. Cleave, you head to the other side. Karis and Meadhbh, as you begin to climb out of the boat. I'll say go ahead and make acrobatics check for both you guys.
Oh,
You guys have-
fucking Kraken was here too.
You guys have a, magical rope, so it's going to be a very low check.
Nice.
I got a 10.
I got a 20.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Karis, you scurry up this thing, no problem. Meadhbh, it's been a long day. You're a little tired, but this is a magical rope, and you kind of pull yourself up, alternating between the very magical but very like normal like hempen rope, and then this beautiful like cashmere and silk rope that I kind of think Meadhbh gets a little bit of pleasure out of pulling up as you just kind of come up this thing. Not only the feel, but just like the representation that like so much terrible capitalism is just being destroyed in this moment. You guys make it to the top. You see scattered around the sides of this massive boat are a number of these partially reformed Kraken tentacles. As you get to the top, you see a large hole just like blasted into the side where you see one of the ballast tanks were. And as you peer down, you see the form of the Kraken itself kind of like balled up partially in this massive, now kind of like emptied tank. A number of its tentacles kind of like leaching out from this area and kind of you see them smashing on the boat a little bit. But you see, Meadhbh, you recognize this immediately, the small steady red pulses of energy. As you look a little closer, and that you see with each pulse, the form begins to reconstitute a little more and a little more and a little more. It's a slow process, but it is happening at a very regular pace that you slowed from the engine room.
I totally forgot the Kraken was still going to be in this room. I kind of thought it was out and about already around the boat.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, the both of you. And I'll say, since you're on the top of the boat, you can roll with advantage.
Oh, wow. 25.
18.
Both of you look down and you see below you see the massive elemental engine. You see this bright red fire elemental kind of like swirling around this like, Zordon type tube.
Sure.
Just kind of like
Zordon?
Zordon from Power Rangers.
Oh, sure.
Google's classic.
Zordon.
As you look down, you see a number of like thick umbilical cord like tubes going directly from the engine into like almost plugged into the Kraken itself. And you see as the engine kind of like pulses, this energy is traveling through this umbilical cord and pulsing into the Kraken. You get the idea that the Kraken is staying here, or like is kind of like tethered here by this umbilical cord. Meadhbh, with your 25 investigation check, you notice 2 additional things. One, as you're standing out on the top of this boat, out in the open air for the first time in some time, you see morning light has kind of come. It is a calm and beautiful day all around. As you turn to your back, the way that the ship is sailing, as it were, you see the massive white wall of the static getting closer and closer. Still off a few hours in the distance, but looming large in that distance. Looking all around, you see no other boats on the distance. You don't see the additional folding boat that people had escaped on. You're not sure if it made it out well or has simply gone under the waves. But with a 25, you look down and you see 2 forms moving around about the Kraken. discussing things amongst themselves fairly loudly. And as you like are in this area, you hear it kind of echo throughout this chamber. You see Tiffany Fex and Madame Alta walking on the like main floor, essentially. So not on the elevated platform, but rather on the main floor. A number of arcane runes drawn all around them in like a large circle. Do either of you speak Primordial?
Frig. Ay. No, but I have tongues. What does that do?
Oh no, common and dwarvish.
You hear these two speaking this guttural, almost impossible sounding language to be coming from a like humanoid creature to each other kind of quietly as it echoes. And every now and then you hear similar sounds echoing from the Kraken itself.
The Kraken's talking.
Seems to be saying a little something. You're not entirely sure what.
If I can touch the Kraken, I have a new spell.
Wait, what?
Okay, I have a spell, Tongues, where the spell grants the creature I touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears, and when it speaks, any creature that knows at least one language can hear the target and understand what it says.
If you wanted to, you could cast that on yourself or on Karis, and you would be able to understand
No, you
Primordial.
do it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it on myself. This is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so I'm casting a spell.
Hell fucking yeah.
Okay, great. What
This
what
is
it's
so
saying.
cool.
What does it look like when Meadhbh casts this spell?
First I go like this really hard. I put my fingers on my temples and I close my eyes and I squint really hard. And then I put my my finger in my mouth.
Wait, you bite it or you like
And I bite
you're
it a
suckling?
little.
You bite onto your finger, and as you do, you feel your like entire body attune like some kind of like weird tuning fork as you begin to almost like dial in something, and you begin to hear words begin to kind of flick in and out of common as you kind of like focus harder on this spell. And after a moment, it flips into focus, and you hear the two of them down there. You hear Tiffany Fex in this deep, guttural primordial. This wasn't how it was supposed to go, but that's fine, okay? We're gonna just finish up the regeneration, and then we'll complete the ritual, alright? We're very close. He's granted us these abilities. It means we are destined for something. You hear Madame Alta kind of looking back, goes, but this wasn't the plan. This wasn't what we were told. I don't know. Shut up. We finish the resurrection, and then our Lord and Master will return to us and give us the greater powers that he's told of us. So just finish your job, make sure both of the entrances are well sealed, and we'll complete the ritual. Once he's back, we will know powers beyond all comprehension. You hear a deep, guttural voice as you hear the Kraken itself bellow out, and you hear, translated in your head, almost in a kind of sickening scream,
Okay, so I tell Karis all this. Bad news. I thought the Kraken might be on our side because I like, cephalopods, and I thought that's kind of what it was. Turns out it's in a bad mood. It's hangry, and I don't think that we're going to get anywhere reasoning with it. And then I tell her everything else that happened. And the doors are probably magically shut, so Cleave is not going to have an easy time just waltzing on in.
Can both of you guys do me a quick favor? Roll either a history or a religion check for me.
18.
17.
As you overhear Sir Tiffany Fex talking about Lord and Master Fathom returning, one bit of information kind of tickled your brain for a moment. You look at Sir Tiffany, you had seen her casting spells, she's a cleric of some form, you've seen Madame Alta cast spells. You know that none of the Titans have been heard from, seen of, since they were sealed away by the entities that are now the gods of this realm. Not only that, even when they were around, they didn't fraternize with mortals. They didn't grant them abilities in the same way that gods do. This is an entirely singular moment. There's never been an instance that either of you can recall of anyone being granted magics by a Titan. And not only that, you kind of get the sense that if this is happening now, whatever binds, whatever prison these titans have been placed in, some of those walls may be beginning to crack.
Can I say something?
Please.
This is reminding me a lot of our friend Cassandra Divorcée and how she was given a raw deal and promised something huge. It seems like they're, I don't know. Do you think we could get them to be on our side, or we'll have to?
I don't know.
I feel like it's us against the Titans or whatever the fuck.
I worry that trying to reason with them about their God is a little bit, Ricky Gervais coming in and being like, I don't believe in God. God's fake.
Oh my God, it's like he's here.
He is here, Kevin.
Is that comedy legend and former Golden Globes host Ricky Gervais?
It's me, Ricky Gervais. I'm an atheist, isn't it? I created
Guys,
The Office.
I didn't want to bring this up. But for the last episode, I shelled out on Cameo. Ricky Gervais is here.
Bye.
Well worth it. Well worth $3,000. Shout out Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I feel like as much as I feel like something is up, and I don't think that the Titans would just, fraternize with mortals and give them powers and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I worry that by going in trying to talk to them, they'll just throw a spell at us and kill us.
Right. Well, I have some targeted. I feel like we just need to address the source of it, which is the elemental or whatever.
Yeah.
But I have some targeted spells I can do, I think.
Nice.
Like magic missile. Could I aim that at the Zordon tube?
Yeah. And magic missile.
Do I want to do that?
Magic missile automatically hits.
Right.
But it's just not super powerful. But you can send darts of magic missile to the Zordon tube. You can send them to the Kraken. You can send them to either Tiffany Fex or Madame Alta. You can send it to the umbilical cord.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? That's just top of mind.
I think
Whatever.
sending it to the umbilical cord or the Zordon tube is a really smart idea.
But we have to get Cleave. What's going on with Cleave?
Oh yeah, should you go down and tell him to come up here? Because he's not going to be able to get through that door, I don't think.
You guys, I said with your 25
what he's doing right now.
With your 25 investigation check, you look over at the doors, and it doesn't appear that they are magically sealed or anything, but a number of objects have been placed in front of them, so they could definitely be opened. It'll just take a lot of force to open them. It won't be you won't be able to quickly get in through the doors.
Well, thank God every single person on the boat is on the other side of that door. All of the guys with all the triangle-shaped men with the giant shoulders and giant biceps and giant triceps and little bitty butts.
I just want to say that on the other side of that door, Cleave is trying it and he refuses help.
Cleave, go ahead and roll me a strength check. Or an athletics check.
Okay, 17.
You're making decent headway with it. You're moving it a little bit, but it's jammed pretty hard.
I'm just turning around at just the mass of people behind me and going, I got it. It's just I just got to throw my shoulder and do it a little bit more.
I mean, do you want me to help you there? I lift. You can kind of tell.
No, it's fine. Save for strength. I got this.
I mean, this seems easy for me. I don't think it'll expend much strength.
I got it.
I'm in the 1,000-pound club, man. I mean, I deadlift 410, so I think I can.
410. I was putting up those numbers when you were. I got this. I took a little Xanny earlier. I'm still a little bit limp. Okay, Beefchief, come on, you got this. Oh, also, can I roll an investigation check to see before I came up the steps to try to get on the other side of the door? How big are the fuel tanks? that were in that room we came from? Are there like multiple that are some big, some small? Or are they all
Yeah,
huge?
there are like 4. I think actually I said before there were 6 of them, and they're like gasoline drums. They're like, I don't know what that is, like 80-gallon drums essentially. They're like classic barrels of gasoline that you think of.
Wait,
Awesome.
do we know what's in them? Or
It's like lamp oil and like different fuels that can be used throughout the ship.
that's what's in the ballasts?
No, that's what's in the
Oh.
the barrels on the floor below you.
Oh,
in the ballast
okay,
tanks are,
okay.
as far as you know, filled with like water or sand or something that can pull the ship down.
As far as you know.
Except for the one that was filled with bones.
I was that's what it was. I thought they were all filled with bones. And then I was very confused about how they made it out. Okay.
So can I say that the team, I instructed the team of people behind me to kind of like roll these fuel things up, carry them up behind me to like prepare to bring them into the room with us.
Yeah, you see like a bunch of the beefy boys like holding about like 2 of them, carrying each, and they're kind of like lined up with them, giving you just a quick nod of their head, like, yeah, we got you, Chief.
All right. Okay, come on, Beefchief. You got a second half of payment to collect. Never leave a job unfinished. Fuck. Oh gosh, shit.
From above, as Cleave, you see like the door kind of like shaking just a little bit. What do you guys do?
Did we already send the torpedo thingy to the tube? Or
Oh yeah. Can I do that?
Do you want to like once you like make an attack or something, you will be like people will be alerted to your presence.
Oh, so they will. So they won't be like, what was that? It could have been anything.
You could make a stealth check if you want to try to cast it sneakily.
I would love to. A stealth? Can I? Is there any way I can do a sleight of hand check? Because can I do a persuasion check on a sleight of hand check?
you know what?
Towards
yes,
you.
I will let you roll a persuasion check on the DM. DC 20.
Yeah, I got 20.
Lower the camera.
Now roll a deception check, please.
It's a 9.
The DM is not persuaded, so no, you may not roll a sleight of hand, but you may roll a stealth check.
All right, no sweat.
However, I'm going to tell you this before you do. If you roll a stealth check, you're attacking. Like if you make this check,
are we okay with
you're like launching the attack, and then the check will determine whether or not you're seen.
Well, I mean, eventually we're gonna have to attack, and honestly, I don't have any better idea, so I think fucking go for it, dude.
Yeah. And I feel like Cleave would do that, and I can't talk to him right now, but he's our boy, and like,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do it.
Maeve, if you also want to roll a stealth check,
I have to roll a stealth check?
If you want to, you could also make like essentially a surprise attack before they get around.
I'm so
before they get
fucking nervous.
Okay. Ah! Sorry. I dropped. Ah! I did it again.
Okay, that's not terrible.
I got a 14.
I got a 17.
Could be worse.
Certificate Effect's passive perception is 14. So she, as you fire off this magic missile,
Oh my God.
a number of these bullets, these like magical arcane bullets, smash into the arcane tank containing this fire elemental. Certificate Effects begins to look around like, what the hell was that? Look around. They begin to look all around. Karis, you pull your head back. Maeve, as you begin to pull your head back, your hair just flips out a moment too long. And Certificate Effects looks up and goes, "They're up there!"
No!
I'm gonna need
so
everyone
Why do you have hair?
I'm gonna need everyone
So
to
dumb.
roll initiative, please.
Okay. Oh, geez, Louise. I got a 10.
15.
And Karis?
12.
As panic begins to break out in the room, as you begin to see Certificate Effects Madame Alta looking up at you, Maeve, as you pull your head back, the 3 magic missiles slam into the side of this elemental engine. Karis, go ahead and roll damage for that. It's 1d4 plus 1 for each of the missiles.
I'm doing a roll for several times.
You roll 1d4 and add 1. Do that 3 times.
4 plus 4 plus 3 is 7 is 11.
And then add 3 on top of that, so 14. Fuck yeah. You, as these 3 massive missiles screech along the ceiling, quietly like spinning around and then blasting into the side. You get your head back in time to not be seen. Meadhbh, you're just caught by Sir Tiffany Fex as she looks up. We are going into initiative order. First in the order is the tentacles of the Kraken itself. As you have just blasted into its food source, Meadhbh, with your tongue spell still active, you hear as the tentacles begin to fire out almost and begin to smash around the outside of the boat, searching for anything to smash onto. I need both of you to roll a dexterity saving throw. DC 13.
I'm not gonna get it. It's 5. I got 5.
Oh, shiz. I got 17.
17. Meadhbh, you're able to hold on to the rope as the boat begins to move, jolt back and forth with each of these hits. Karis, however, you lose your footing and fall prone. Go ahead and roll me a D6. If you roll, roll a D4, this will determine which way you fall. If you roll a 1, you kind of fall forward towards the bow of the boat. If you roll a 2, you begin to fall down the side that you climbed up. 3, you fall down the stern of the boat. 4, you fall into the room.
Okay, I already forgot all of those, but I will roll. 2.
You fall down the boat and begin to slide down, like past the rope where you had climbed up. So you are currently like sliding down the side.
Ow.
As these tentacles begin to slam into the sides of the boat, Meadhbh and Karis, you begin to see massive like chunks being taken out of the boat, huge dents, as the massive power of these tentacles slamming down harder than you have heard begins to rattle the boat. Each of these tentacles is slamming down. Each of them is going to do some damage onto the boat itself.
Crap.
The boat takes 104 points of damage as each of the tentacles slams into it.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? The boat has hit points too?
The boat itself has hit points.
How many
so
hit points?
fucked up, Brian.
I'm going to tell you, the
You
boat
didn't tell us this.
the boat has 300 hit points. If it gets to 0, the boat will no longer be seaworthy and it will sink. It will like actively fall to the ocean floor.
Oh, okay. Well, I already thought that was happening, so...
But rather than happening slowly, it will basically happen immediately.
How cold's the water?
Mm-mm.
Decently cold. It's not, let's share this piece of driftwood, Jack, cold. But it's ocean water. It's cold.
How long would we live in
You
the water?
adjust.
You'd have to make some survival checks, try to figure it out. You wouldn't like freeze in the water, but you'd be stranded in the middle of the ocean.
I could get the dolphins to take us away.
First up is going to be Madame Alta's turn. Karis, as you're falling down the side, they can't see you. Meadhbh,
Alta,
you've
shit.
kind of like tucked yourself back. Madame Alta is going to begin to move back and takes cover, readying an action for the next person she sees. Cleave, it is your turn.
So I hear that there's commotion going on, right?
You hear as these 3 arcane missiles slam into the center tube, and then you begin to hear the Kraken as a bunch of these hits happen all around. The boat itself rocks hard, harder than you've felt it since the initial explosion. You look behind you, and the like mob of people is standing there, like looking at you, scared but resolved to help. What do you do?
What's the handle on the door look like? I'm picturing like one of those like nautical doors from like SpongeBob with like a ship wheel as the
Yeah,
handle
it's
of
got
it.
like a wheel thing that like would seal it like a bulkhead door. You've like unscrewed that and are trying to like push it open, but they've like shoved a bunch of shit against the door. So you would need a big strength check to be able to like push in.
All right. You know, I'm not always right, but at least I have enough sense to admit when I'm wrong. And I'm not wrong yet. I'm gonna shoulder this door one more time.
Go ahead, make an athletics check. It's gonna be DC 20.
Okay. Well, I got an 8, so
You slam your
got
shoulder
it.
hard into the door, and you just hear a boom. Ooh. You feel like just a little something kind of like snap in your shoulder, like, ugh. You're unable to open the door by yourself, but you might be able to do it with some help.
God damn it, this is gonna take a lot. Cleave's thinking on it and thinking about his ego, and that's gonna be the end of my turn.
my
You
God.
see the mob next to you just goes, "What? Seriously?" You see a guy like with a chest as big as the Rock, not the Rock's chest, a chest as big as the Rock. Just like, really? He's gonna try to push past you, and the mob's gonna make a roll.
Yeah, go mob.
They get a +4 to strength.
Well, you know exactly what Cleave's gonna say.
What's he gonna say?
What does Cleave say?
I gotta wait to see what happens first.
He rolled a 13 +4, so 17. Unable to get in the door.
Yeah, see?
He literally just like flexes
Zing.
and his shirt bursts into shreds like a fucking anime. He goes, "We got this, everybody. Let's go." The mob begins to slam into the door. However, that is the end of their turn. It is Sir Warwick's turn on the other side. Warwick, Meadhbh, and Ansel
Ansel.
on the other side. They're going to all try to work together and try to push through this door, so they're going to roll with advantage. They got a 16 +7. They burst through their side of the door as Warwick, Meadhbh, and Ansel are all into the room. Maybe from above, you see Meadhbh and Ansel push forward, swords drawn, as Meadhbh kind of like hides behind them a little bit with his big wooden turkey leg of a thing. That is their turn as they push into the door. It is Sir Tiffany Feck's turn. Fex yells up towards Meadhbh, goes, "Haven't had enough, darling?
Rude.
Come on down."
No, I'm not gonna fucking say shit. She doesn't know where I am.
"Fine, have it your way." She looks over at Warwick. Her eyes lock with Warwick. She goes, "You haven't given up yet? Come on. Why don't you join our side, old time's sake?" "Fuck you." She's going to blast him with a spell. You see her cast. She spins her hand around this sickly purple energy as the Kraken itself, its eyes begin to glow a little bit purple. As she casts the spell, a spectral, sickly purple trident appears above her and flies towards Warwick. And she's going to make an attack. That is a 6 +7. Does not hit his armor. It slams into him, but he's able to quickly deflect it with his blade. "Is that all you got?" "Not quite, darling." As she blasts forward a Sacred Flame spell, he's going to make a dexterity saving throw. Whiffs.
No.
And he's going to take 7 points of damage.
Ay, ay, ay.
Maeve, as you kind of like peek over a little bit, you see him just get blasted in the chest with this sickly purple fire that kind of like spreads out around him. You see Ansel kind of like pushing to the side, Meadhbh pulling away as Ansel begins to step forward in front of Meadhbh. That is Feck's turn. Karis, it is your turn.
She fallen.
Oh, right, you are falling. Go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw to try to grab onto the rope as you're falling.
Okay. 16.
16, yeah. As you're falling, you quickly roll over the side of the boat, grab onto your magical rope, and slowly pull yourself, getting like a bad rope burn down your hand as you grab onto it and begin to
my
slowly
God. Oh.
pull yourself back up.
Never mind, that's my biggest fucking fear.
But goddamn, from the outside, does it look badass? Just thick, meaty forearms grabbing onto this thing.
Yeah, with like flesh flying off of it, just like
Smoke rolling off.
seriously, probably.
You stop yourself about 30 feet down the side. Fuck. But you're able to stop yourself. You still have your movement, your action, your bonus action. What do you want to do?
Oh my lord. I'm 30 feet down, which is what floor?
You're still on the side of the boat, so you're like near the window that you came in. So you could go back in that way, or you could climb back up this rope to the hole in the top.
So she attacked Warwick. Okay, do I want to go down And Cleave is still outside of the room, so I could use all of the people. I could use all of the people who are down there. Now that we know the situation. So I'm gonna go back into the window from whence I came,
You, as you're like sliding to a stop, you stop directly in front of this window, kind of spin yourself around, fly in feet first, landing on your feet.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, very Captain Jack Sparrow-y. And then are you running towards, which way do you choose to go? Do you choose to go towards Cleave or towards Warwick? They're like opposite ends of the hallway.
Cleave.
You run towards
It's always been Cleave.
You run towards Cleave, begin to push through the mob of people, making your way up towards Cleave, and you see Cleave and this massive barrel-chested fucking crew member banging into this door. What do you do?
I'm not gonna do the same thing I did last time. I'm trying to be cool. I'm not gonna yell Cleave. Hey, Cleave!
That's good.
Karis. Listen.
Oh no!
I'm aware of the effect that I can have on people when I'm working a case. I don't blame ya, okay? Picking up when I'm laying down. Maybe. After we get through all this craziness, I gesture toward the door. I gesture towards the man whose pecs are as large as the rock. Maybe after we get through all this, you and me could, just grab coffee somewhere.
Wow, how many hit points does Karis take from that?
Yeah. What is the effect? What is the effect of it? Because you have to tell me.
You hear like 3 people in the crowd all go, "Hey, what the hell, man?"
Yeah, we can do that. We'll talk more about this later.
Yeah.
Just stop for a second. Shake your Zanny off and listen up because some shit is happening.
What's up? And I put
how
my
much do
hand
you
up
know
and
about
kinda
what is
like-
happening? I mean, you're down here. You can probably hear something.
We heard some kind of a big commotion in there. I think the door must be magically sealed or something, because I wasn't able to break through it myself.
I mean, listen, I'll go over what happened, but I did get a vantage point on the door, and it's not magically blocked. There's like a couple boxes. Just kind of in front of them.
I see.
I'm realizing now I probably just shouldn't have shared that information with you. I don't want it to be a blow.
No. It's all right. As my good friend Meadhbh once told me, hurt people hurt people.
So Karis, what do you do?
I'm whispering to him, like, we need to launch TBH. I think we need to. We don't want to.
TBD.
TBD, TBH, TB8.
Oh, you mean to mobilize the entire team of people and try to break through the door?
TBH, yes. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm on board. Frankly, they've already been trying that.
Oh, Cleave, never change. And I give him like a little nuggie. And we like kind of like wrestle around and like slap each other's hands.
And our eyes catch for just a second.
From the inside, you hear the battle cries of Warwick, Ansel, and Meadhbh. 2 of those 3 have never been in a fight before, as this cute exchange is happening outside. Karis, you still have your action, your bonus action. What do you want to do to get into this room?
Address my people.
You spin around
address
looking at the
them.
crowd. What do you say?
Oh my god, you guys. You'll never believe what we're about to do. So, some of our home guys are in there fighting for their lives right now. And I urge you not to attack them. But what I'm telling you is that we are about to charge 2 jerks Who put us in this situation?
Excuse me, miss? Excuse me, miss?
Oh my god, yes.
Did you say that there are people actively in there fighting right now while you're giving the speech?
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. Good note. So we're gonna do TBD.
We're doing it now?
TBD. But listen, I just don't want you to attack these guys because they're our friends. The two people you need to attack are this like elf lady and Tiffany Fex, who like you all saw.
All right, guys, TBD, go! The whole crowd begins to boom. Karis, go ahead and roll a athletics check with advantage.
Thank you. Oh, thank God it was not that one. Oh, not much better. 6.
With advantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 1 and then a 5.
People get crammed up in this area as they're like, TBD! And like you just see a bunch of people just get kind of sandwiched against this door. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Cleave, shoot the door open. Can I make commands as my turn for other person's action?
Wait, how did Meadhbh and Warwick and Ansel get in?
They went into the door on the other side. There's like 2 doors. There's a door
my God,
in the
what?
hallway.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I go through the door on the other side because now I'm just getting annoyed and I'm walking. I'm just like walking in one of those ways when you're just like really frustrated with something and you're just like, I just need to get to point B right now and I really don't want to deal with any of the other shit. So I'm like walking really annoyed and everyone's kind of like lightly following me.
You push through the crowd,
But I'm
annoyed,
like, oh, I can't like
and
you guys can come
head
if
to
you
the other
want.
side. I'll say you end your turn like at the entrance to the other side as you like
Thank you.
dart over there. The crowd behind you. That is Karis' turn. Maeve, it is your turn. What do you want to do? As you are on top of this thing, you begin to hear the cries of Tiffany Fex, Sir Warwick. You hear Ansel beginning to cry as he pulls his sword. What do you do?
Yeah. Okay, so can I do a thunder wave? Am I within 15 feet of these homies?
So thunder radiates out from you, so you would have to be on the ground, like near them.
But it's a cube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd say you're 15 feet away. You could hit these guys.
Okay, great. Can I hit the Kraken and Meadhbh and Sir Tiffany Fex? Or do I need to move slightly closer?
I'll say you could hit the Kraken and one of those two.
Which one?
Either way, like you could position yourself to either hit Meadhbh, who's heading over towards the door where Cleave and everyone was trying to break in, or you could hit Tiffany Fex and the Kraken.
I guess I'll hit Tiffany Fex because then I'm still far enough away to scurry away after him, maybe.
I will just say a quick thing, just for fairness. If you do this on top of the boat, you will also damage the boat.
How much?
The same amount that you hit anybody for.
Oh my god. But what if I do it inside the boat, I won't damage the boat?
No, you will not like damage the hull of the boat from inside.
Are you the boat, Brian?
But
I am
hitting-
the boat.
yeah.
Feel damaged.
But I'm on top of the boat, so the part of the boat that I'm damaging is already above water, so it doesn't really matter.
All right,
Can
I'll
I-
give you that. You know what? I'll give you that. That's fair.
Okay, great.
We're
All right.
taking over.
It is damage, but not structural damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so 3d8s, and then I have a little thundercloud that's raining. What does that mean? Oh, that's thunder wave. maybe.
Thunder damage. They have to make a save, right? What's your spell save DC?
I have no idea how to even begin answering that question. Oh, it's 14.
And it's a Constitution or Dexterity saving throw.
Con 14.
Okay, she failed. I'll do the Kraken kind of as a whole. It also fails. So go ahead and roll your d8s of damage.
Okay, great. So I do 3 of them, plus just... Oh, glob. 9.
9? Hell yeah. And that would also actually hit the elemental engine as well.
Oh, perfect.
So you see a few splinter cracks being to form down the elemental engine as you blast it out in all directions. You see like shearing bits of metal come off the boat, though non-structural damage. You see a bunch of the tentacles kind of get blasted back. and Certiphany Fex is knocked prone by your thing. So she falls onto her feet. Any melee attacks against her will have advantage.
I forget whether or not I tried this already. Did I try playing the song backwards on my little shawm?
I think you did try, but you didn't do particularly well.
It didn't work. Is that an action or a bonus action?
I'll let you do that as a bonus action, but then you wouldn't be able to do like Bardic Inspiration or anything like that.
Okay, maybe I'll leave that for later. All right, I'll just Bardic Inspire. Who's closest to me? Or who's closest to getting effed up by our enemies?
Right now, Ansel, Warwick, Meadhbh are all like the ones in the room. Karis, you're seeing like just beginning to come around the corner.
Okay, great. And who got actually hurt by the fire?
Warwick.
Warwick. Okay, so I'll give it to him.
What do you say?
Okay, I say, Warwick, man, you got this. Show him how it's done. You know, these two gentlemen are extremely inspired by you, and, you know, out of all of us, you are the one that not only has the most training, but just also has the most force of character, and I know you're gonna come through, and don't let these ladies and this big old octopus get you down, okay? You got this.
He looks up to you as your voice rings out through this cavernous hall, and he raises his sword. For the twin ports! And charges forward. Next to him, you see Ansel similarly raise his sword up and go, for the twin ports! And runs forward beside him. It is Ansel's turn. He's going to make some attacks on Certiphany.
Oh shit, I should have given it to Ansel.
You see him spin this sword around in a surprisingly deft, like textbook movement. The first one clings off her armor. Gonna make a second attack. Oh no, sorry, he just gets one attack. Yeah, that's all he's gonna be able to do. He swings hard, clangs off Certiphany Fex's armor, the sword like physically ringing and like wobbling as he hits. Looking up at Certiphany Fex, her eyes glowing purple. You see he stands there for the first time in his life in a battle with a sword, and she kind of looks down at me and goes, what do you think you're doing? And she raises her hand to attack him. It's Meadhbh's turn. He is going to, you see him begin to look around. He's going to roll an investigation check with advantage to try to stop the boat with the anchor.
Yes.
Hell yeah, he rolled a 10 and then a natural 19. He begins to run over to the side. He goes, you got this, I'm going for the anchor. He runs towards the sides, begins to move a bunch of like gears and mechanisms. You see him grab a large lever that is now, because it's like inverted, he's got to do this like weird contorted maneuver to Meadhbh, from behind you, you see a massive anchor release, and then as the chains begin to rattle along the sides, as it splashes into the ocean, begins to fall down deep to the depths. You feel the ship begin to slow slightly as this massive weight lands in the water. Meadhbh kind of looks up and goes,
long anchor.
It won't likely hit the bottom, but it will help provide some drag and some weight, and like, if nothing else, it will turn the ship because there is like a large weight there.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely doing something. Meadhbh shouts, I got the anchor! It's going to be the top of the order. Will one of you please, you guys can choose who, roll a d6 for me.
I'll do it.
Do it.
It can be on me. This is like at the end of the Euro Cup when they were like, whoever takes this last penalty kick doesn't even have to necessarily be the best kicker. It just has to be the person that can live with it if they miss.
I'll say you want to roll high.
I didn't roll high. I rolled a 2.
Okay. As the tentacles begin to swim around the room, like 5 of the tentacles are still outside, kind of like slamming around the sides. 3 of the tentacles slip inside the room and begin to like menace towards the 3 of you. One of the tentacles accidentally slashes some kind of like steam release valve, and a bunch of steam forms a curtain that begins to fill the room. This is now a lightly obscured area. It's going to be tougher to do ranged attacks in this area.
Is the steam hot, or is it just...
It's definitely like warming the room, but it's not like damagingly hot.
Okay.
But essentially just like a mist, a fog is filling the room. It is going to be the tentacles' turn. 5 of the tentacles on the outside are going to attack the boat, doing 65 points of damage.
Ay, ay, ay.
3 of the tentacles, however, are going to make attacks on people in the room.
No!
One of them is going to fling out towards Warwick as you hear again, Maeve, the only one able to hear this, you hear in Primordial Certificate Effects call out, "Help us! Get them!" Tentacles fly out, one of them towards Sir Warwick, is absolutely going to hit, dealing him 11 points of damage. As it slams into Warwick and twists around him, it begins to pull him into the air.
No.
The other two are going to make attacks, one against Meadhbh, one against Ansel. First against Meadhbh. Surprisingly misses against Meadhbh. It reaches out and he's able to like duck behind some of the contraptions that it kind of like reaches around trying to grab him. Against Ansel, it's a natural 3. Ansel is able to just like duck out of the way, does a surprisingly effective like tuck and roll with his sword, pulling up in like a 3-point stance directly to the side of Sir Tiffany Fex, preparing to make another strike. That is the Tentacles' turn. I will say, as the Tentacles are kind of like just swimming around, some of them are attacking the room, some of them are like feeling around the boat for different things. If at any time you like want to try to goad this monster, you can try to get more tentacles into the boat, like attacking you guys, so less are attacking the boat itself, but that would obviously mean more danger in the room. It is Madame Alta's turn. She's going to turn and make an attack against Warwick. She's going to make a Sacred Flame attack. He's going to make a Dexterity save with disadvantage because he is grappled. Fails. Takes another 8 points of damage. Warwick is looking not fantastic. As he's grappled in the air, probably like 5 feet in the air, being held by this Kraken. Madame Alta, you see again this like sickly purple fire blast into him. Cleave, it is your turn.
I'm still trying to shoulder my way through this door.
Go ahead and roll a strength check, an athletics check with advantage.
Okay. Oh my gosh. 16 and 19.
You, as the tentacles have been like blasting around this area, you see a bunch of the things behind it had like shifted and moved. You slam your shoulder into this thing and finally get enough room to be able to like weasel your way through it. You look into a room that is obscured with this kind of fog. You can see like vague shapes moving around. As you bust in this room, what do?
I just kind of take stock of what the room looks like and the steam filling it, and I draw my gun and I'm like, this is great. I've been meaning to take a schwitz.
Oh my god.
Do I know the room's partially obscured? Are Alta or Fex within my line of sight?
I would say Fex is too far away and is like the fog's too close. Madame Alta was running towards you, so she is within your sight.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cap her ass.
Go ahead and make an attack. Actually, if just so you know, if you want to roll a like stealth check first to try like hide behind, you might be able to get sneak attack damage.
Oh, sick. Okay. Yeah. I'll roll that.
Get that sneak attack.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. Well, that's probably not gonna happen. Well, no. Okay. They're good. Yeah. Okay. 10?
Her passive perception is exactly 10. So you are just able to sneak past. So you're just you duck behind something and you fire. Go ahead and make an attack on her.
Oh my god. Also a 10.
10 fires wide, and she kind of spins her eyes around, glances on you, and begins to pull her arms up, preparing for another spell in your direction. That will be your turn. It is the mob's turn. The mob behind Karis turns towards Karis, kind of looks like, what are we doing here? Are we DTF? Or are we BTW? Are we, what's the thing? GTG?
There was a time when I accepted and loved every single one of you for all of your different flavors. Have faith in yourself. Don't say BTW, like whatever. Go for it. Let's do this.
You see the whole crowd kind of pauses for a second. Someone in the back goes, I think it was TBD. Was it TBD? TBD! And they run forward and are going to make an attack on Sir Tiffany Fex as a mob of people. The mob is just kind of acting as one people. They can actually make 2 attacks. First one is going to miss. Wow, second one also misses. She is just like radiating this sickly purple energy. People are kind of like swinging their makeshift weapons, but you still sense like a bit of fear and trepidation in them as they kind of like swing but aren't really leaning into it. And she's able to like quickly, deftly parry them and like move back kind of through this fog. Just her eyes growing bright purple, just going, "Is that all you got? Come on! Look at that thing! You think you can beat that? You think you can beat me?" You see them kind of like lose their resolve for a moment as they just kind of like swing at arm's length.
I knew they would.
It is Warwick's turn. Warwick is going to try to break the grapple of this thing. He's got to roll a strength check. 7 plus 7 does not break it, so he's unable to break it. However, he is going to look down at, he's going to look back at Cleave as he busts in the door. From like his high vantage point, he looks over at Cleave and goes, "Hey, Cleave, little gift for you." You see this bright light radiate towards you as he casts Shield of Faith on you. Your AC increases by 2 as you begin to feel this warm, radiating yellow light surround you.
Oh my god. Awesome.
And that is going to be his turn. It is Sir Tiffany Fex. Sir Tiffany Fex, you see, spins her hands around, the sickly purple energy appears, and all of a sudden she like rips her hands apart, and 3 duplicate copies appear around of her as you see additional like spectral images of Sir Tiffany Fex appear. They quickly like run around each other, and it's difficult to tell like where she was and where she properly was. And she's going to use her bonus action to direct the spiritual weapon that she had formed, and is going to slash at Sir Warwick. 11 plus 7 indeed hits. Another 5 damage to Sir Warwick. Sir Warwick is looking not great. That is Sir Tiffany Feck's turn as a number of like spectral images appear, making it difficult to figure out exactly which one she is. Karis, it is your turn. What do you do?
Can I use a spell?
Yeah, you've got your movement, you got an action, you got a bonus action.
And wait, am I in the room?
Yeah, you're like just getting in the door. You like look in, you see it's a little tough to see in this area. Like you can't see across the other side. You can only see like towards the middle. You see splintering cracks appearing along the elemental engine. You see 3 of the tentacles kind of like writhing around, one of them holding on to Sir Warwick Blitz, dangling him like 5 feet above the ground. You see Sir Tiffany Fex on the ground, but like with a number of spectral like versions of herself. You see them kind of like warding off the mob. And you see like some vague shapes on the other side, but you're not entirely sure what they are.
Do I have any sort of advantage to make a sneak attack?
You can make a stealth check. If you make a stealth check, then you can roll a sneak attack.
Now I can do some good damage with the sneak attack.
Or actually, sorry, because you have allies, like the mob is technically an ally and they're attacking Sir Tiffany Fex. If you want to attack Tiffany, you could do that with advantage, get sneak attack. You could attack the tentacle that's holding Warwick with sneak attack.
I feel like I want to attack Tiffany because last time we attacked how splintered up does this elemental look like?
The elemental tank looks pretty badly fractured. I'd say it's maybe at like half its health.
Okay. And I had to shoot a whole ass missile to get it at half its health, so I probably can't do much to actually destroy it.
You can still, as dumb as it sounds, roll with sneak attack against the elemental engine.
Really?
Yeah, I'll say if you are able to successfully hide from it.
Do I know how strong it is? How many points or whatever it has?
I'll let you roll an insight check to see if you can get like a vague idea. Like DC 15.
Ooh, well I rolled an 18, and I know I got some more, bonus points to spare.
It's looking, it could probably be taken down in like, if you really nail a sneak attack, it might be able to destroy the engine or destroy like the containment unit of the engine.
No, it's more exciting to attack Tiffany Fex, so I'm gonna do that. To me, it's more exciting.
She has like a bunch of duplicates around her, so you're gonna have to try to like attack the right one.
One of these.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fucking Super Mario boss.
But you can still you can still make a stealth check and try to like you'd be able to roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay, I can do that. 6 plus 17. 23.
Yeah, especially with this like lightly obscured area, hiding has become a lot easier. You duck between an area, you pull up your like crossbow, and you want to make an attack?
I absolutely do. Thank you.
Go ahead. You can roll with advantage because you're hidden.
Hit +6.
So 15 plus 6 is 16, or is 21. Definitely hits.
Okay.
She's going to roll a d20. If she rolls above a 6, you'll just hit one of the duplicates and destroy one of the duplicates.
Okay.
She rolled a 6, so she does succeed. You blast through one of the duplicates, and the duplicate vanishes. So she now is a little easier to try to find. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Yeah, I want to get the other one.
You're not able to this turn. But it is going to be easier to get her in the future. Because that, like, the number that she's got to beat will go up each time. Until all the duplicates are gone.
Okay, so I can't do anything on the other duplicate. So then...
You see the one guy at the front of the mob kind of looks back at you and goes, Miss, what are we doing here? There's three of them. There's 3 of them now. This feels bad. That monster is a lot bigger than we thought it was. Okay, what? Are you sure we could win?
Yes. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now, and I'm trying to think of what the hell I'm supposed to do. So I'm sorry if I lash out at you, who is obviously a very excited about life, wonderful person, but I don't know what I'm going to do. So let me just think for a second. I'm sorry. Can I tell them to charge?
Yeah, you can tell them anything.
Charge already. Help me out. Support me.
Okay, sorry, everyone, we're going again. They begin to run forward. Meadhbh, it is your turn next in the order.
When I did my Thunderwave last time, I also hurt the elemental tube, right?
You did. It helps crack the tube.
I'm just going to do that again. It was great last time.
From where you are, because the mob is also there now, you'll also be hurting some of those people.
No, I don't want to hurt the mob.
You can hurt the mob.
I don't want to hurt the mob. How strong do we think every tentacle is? Like, what do you think my chances are? Can I roll an investigation check to see if I think it would be smart to try to chop off a tentacle?
Yeah, go ahead and roll either a perception, investigation. I'll let you roll nature if you want.
I'll roll a nature check. 14.
These tentacles, like, as you hit the monster, like, each of these tentacles did take some damage because they were all in the area. Mm-hmm. You could definitely, like, focus on these tentacles individually. Looking at the monster, at the Kraken itself, destroying the entire Kraken is going to be a nigh impossible task. Mm-hmm. You guys have a lot of firepower. It's doing a lot of damage to this boat. You're looking at, like, the timeline of what would have to happen. You're not entirely sure if you could destroy the Kraken. You might be able to destroy some of the legs. You see targets like Certificate Effects, Madame Alta, as missions you could easily accomplish, but the boat would still destroy. Your eyes kind of like narrow on the umbilical cord and the engine itself, and you recognize that each of those areas are things that will at least change the stakes of this battle. Mm-hmm. You're not entirely sure for good or for ill, but the Kraken is being fed by this thing. It's being tethered here. If things stay the way they are, this boat is likely going down.
What is the umbilical cord made out of?
It's like a tube, like a kind of like ceramic-y tube encased in like bits of metal.
It's ceramics, fuck.
Can the bees climb in there? They're like,
oh yeah, the bees.
I'll just say, just as a mechanical thing, the umbilical cord does have like a set number of hit points and a set armor class to hit if you want to like physically attack it. So I mean, you could definitely like try to do something creative, but there is a specific like number you'll have to hit.
I mean, I honestly don't think my dagger could hurt ceramics. Right? Like, ceramics is a crazy material. They make trains on ceramic tracks.
You can go and roll a quick investigation check on the umbilical cord to see if you can get an idea of it.
Okay, great. Oh shit, a natural 20.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Natural 20 on the umbilical cord. You recognize this type of material. You've indeed seen it like on crazy man-made things, elven-made things. It's a strong material. The amount of energy that's being pushed through this thing from the engine to the Kraken is absurd. It is glowing hot. You see like splinters and like fissures in it. This thing is fragile at this point. It's been pushed like to the brink of what it should be doing. I feel like a natural 20 investigation check. I gotta give you, a little something else.
Do I get the sense that if I break this thing open, it'll melt my face off like the Nazi at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
You're not entirely sure, but what you do know with a natural 20 is if this thing is pumping a bunch of like fire elemental energy that is going into the Kraken, is being infused like through like essentially a feeding tube, should you crack it, the tube is facing towards the Kraken and would still ultimately be expending the same amount of energy. With a natural 20 investigation check, you realize should this thing splinter, there's still a bunch of fucking energy coming out of this thing, and now you have something that can be wielded rather than something that is feeding the Kraken.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right, so... Okay.
Reverse fire hose.
It is a very literal fire hose.
Okay, great.
Oh!
Okay, so let me try to crack that, baby. I feel like I don't have any spells that'll help me do it, other than, like, the only kind of percussive spell I have is Thunderwave. The rest are, like, let me talk to a duck. So, can I...
Maeve has an entire spell sheet strictly focused on speaking to ducks.
Yeah. Let me do... Can I get up near it and then attack it with my rapier?
Yeah, you would have to jump down from here, or you could like maybe use the rope and kind of like swing it over.
Yeah, like Tarzan.
Yeah, I'll let you Tarzan down there.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
Okay.
I'll say if you get above a 10, you don't take any falling damage. If you get above a 15, we'll let something cool happen.
Oh, crap. 17.
Ooh!
You grab onto. Do you want to grab the magical rope or the mundane like Versace rope?
The Versace rope, please.
You grab onto the Versace rope,
Mundane
like
Versace.
scoot back, run forward, leap off the edge, holding onto it like that scene in the James Bond trailer. Grab onto it, fly forward. As you're flying, you realize your feet are heading directly towards the elemental engine. I'll let you make a free attack, just like an unarmed attack, against the engine itself before you land on the ground.
Oh my gosh, how do I do that?
Just go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay.
And add I'll say your dexterity or your strength modifier. I'll let you pick.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Strength. Oh shit, okay, yeah. 10.
You Tarzan down, slam into this thing. However, the hard glass exterior doesn't crack any further, but you look fucking cool doing it. You land on the ground, and you pull out your rapier to make an attack against the umbilical cord. Go ahead and roll an attack against the umbilical cord.
A 7.
7. You slam down into it, and you're not able to, like, your blade kind of hits it and then, like, ricochets off. You're not able to find purchase on this thing.
Dang it.
But you hear from the background Ansel yelling up, "You got it! I believe in you!"
That's so nice. Okay, so I gave my bardic inspiration to Warwick, but he didn't use it, right?
He still has it. He can still, like, use it in the future, but you can keep giving out bardic inspirations if you want.
Oh my god, if he dies without using my bardic inspiration, I'm gonna be real peeved. Okay, well, all I have left is my bonus action, right? Is my bardic inspiration. Right, okay, so I'll be like, Ansel! You got this. I believe in you. You're doing so good. We're all impressed. Everyone's talking about how good you are with the sword. And just go get him, dude.
Ansel, you see him, like, almost radiating with this inspirational energy. He yells back, he goes, "If we get out of this, I'm gonna kiss you right on the mouth!" No fear! No fear, ma'am! That is actually Ansel's turn. Ansel is going to... You know what? Ansel's going to book it over to you. He sees you attacking this umbilical cord. He goes,
"Oh, nice.
I'm coming!" He runs forward, jumps in the air, grabs, double hand fist this sword, and slams down onto it. He's going to roll an attack. Oh shit, it's a natural 17 to hit. That absolutely hits. 7, 8, that's 9 points of damage against this thing. He blasts into it. He blasts into this thing, kind of goes, yeah, take that! And begins just like trying to attack it a bunch of times. That is Ansel's turn. Meadhbh, still hiding behind the contraptions. He's going to make a investigation check to try to do something weird to the ship itself. Rolled a 7 plus 6, 13. Not going to do it. He begins to like look around the thing. He goes, I think I got something. Everybody hold on to something. As he begins to like move around. He's not able to do anything on this turn, but he's going to try something on his next turn. Cleave, can you go ahead and roll a d6 for me?
You betcha. 1.
Oh no.
I need everyone here to make a dexterity saving throw.
13.
14.
21.
14, 21. All of you, as the ship, as Meadhbh like pulls a couple dials and the Kraken like bangs on a few things, the ship entirely like rocks hard to one side. You see Madame Alta, Sir Tiffany Fex, the entire mob all fall prone on the ground. However, each of you are able to keep your footing. Any melee attacks against any of those people will have advantage until they stand up. It is the tentacles' turn. Again, 5 of them slam into the ship itself, doing 60 points of damage.
Jesus.
You see, even from the inside, you see like large cracks of light, of morning light, begin to come through this thing as the tentacles are just rending some of this metal. One of the tentacles with Warwick is going to chuck Warwick. Warwick's going to make a little dexterity save. Fails. You see Warwick take 3 points of damage as he falls to the ground, like 20 feet away from the center of the room. 2 more of the tentacles are going to attack. One of them is going to head straight for Meadhbh.
No!
6 plus 4, 10, misses. The other one's going to go for Ansel.
No.
Wow, 6 plus 4 also misses. Both of you swoop down as the tentacles go for you. You recognize this Kraken sees you guys attacking this thing and begins to... You see more tentacles begin to crawl inside of the ship and turn towards you like 4 more menacing fucking snakes. You realize in this moment, this thing does not want you to break this umbilical cord. As the ship rollicks and rolls, as Meadhbh like pulls on a couple like errant levers, as the Kraken begins to slam into the boat, motes of light begin to come through various cracks and fissures forming in the sides of this boat. You begin to feel like sprays of water as this thing begins to rollick and roll. You guys look around and see large, massive strips of metal beginning to be easily rent like fucking aluminum foil. You see bolts coming out of the sides. You see a boat ready to split apart. And Meadhbh, you look up as all of the tentacles have pulled themselves inside and are menacing you like 8 cobras preparing to strike. You realize in this moment this Kraken wants to be fed, needs to be fed, and will kill to make sure it is fully revived. And that is where we're going to end for the evening.
Meadhbh's gonna die.
Yeah. This is not good.
Tune in next week for the exciting conclusion to the first season of the 20-Sided Podcast, and let's find out if our heroes can indeed escape the R.M.S. Titanfall. Good night, everybody.
Bye.